Hey guys, Two Dogs here, and I just wanted to take a minute to talk to you about my new Talon grips that I just got in the mail today. I'm excited to walk through putting them on my handgun here. I went with a different option on this one. There's a lot of videos out there on the sandpaper or skateboard tape type. I went with the rubber material, so this is actually a rubber adhesive or rubber grip, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to walk through the actual application of this. What's nice is that they try to save you money by sending it in the mail. You guys have noticed, there's not fancy packaging here. The directions inside, they even write you a nice little note. We are going to follow these directions for this example today. So obviously you see here my gun's totally unloaded. Don't have to worry about that. So let's actually go through. There are 5 steps. We are going to go through each one of those now. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to follow the instructions to a T of what they provided us. And there are 5 steps, as I mentioned. So step 1, I don't know if you can see that on, is to field strip the firearm for safety. And then we're actually going to clean it with this alcohol pad that they gave. Now I felt it's a lot easier to put on these types of grips when you just take the slide completely off, especially with this polymer. It's just so light. It's just easy for us to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and take the alcohol pad, and any place that grip is going to touch, we are going to clean. Get all those oils off of there, because oil is bad, especially when it comes to adhesive. All right, so we're going to let that dry for a second. Set that down. Step 2, then what we're going to do is, step 2 is actually pretty critical there. So it's telling us that we need to make sure that we align that accordingly. So it's got to touch where the very edge of the lines of the pre-formatted grips that come with the gun are, as well as the very bottom right before the magazine. So basically what that means is we're going to stick it right against that edge, and we're going to go all the way to the bottom here. And then it basically tells you to wrap all the way around. So let's go through that process. Here I am touching I clean my hands with that as well. So I'm going to start peeling the back off, and we're going to start applying that. Hopefully I can let you guys see this while I do it. I don't know if that's going to be possible. Let's get that as close to we can as what the instructions say. And make sure your lines line up, because I'm assuming that that's important too. And I'll tell you why on the other side when we go through this. That magazine release has got to be able to go through. All right, so as I'm starting to wrap around, I'm pulling away. And I can press down firmly. There's a step 5 that helps with making this grip firm. Step 3 is make sure that you're aligned on the back side. Hopefully I can show that to you there. As good as you can get. So that's a little off, so I'm going to fix that right now. We are going to make sure that that is stuck on there good and done right, because once you put it on, I think it's going to be on. And I'm going to try to stop from any bubbling that occurs, so I will pull it up and redo that to avoid the bubbling. Now as I come around here, I also want to ensure that I stay on the same side. So those lines have to line up as well. So I've got to make sure now that my grip lines up accordingly. And I already see here that I have a mistake. So we're actually going to go back and pull this, because it's not going as far as I think it needs to. So let's pull this nice and tight so that when it comes around, it's right where we want it to be. And that's perfect right there. Okay. Now I need to wrap the finger grooves all the way around. Just as number 4 states. It's very important. So let's continue on with the wrapping. Right over the grooves. Now what it says to do is once you get to this point, you actually need to lift up the first one you adhered to so that these can tuck underneath. So maybe they're going to come up with a better way to do that next time, because now I'm pulling up tape that I originally already put down. Maybe we do it backwards next time. I'm not sure. So I adhere those down, and then I will reapply over the top. Make sure I don't have any bubble. Let's check out that magazine release. Plenty of room, not touching. Now, what's interesting is this next step. This next step asks that we do a little hair drying. And it says must do, number 5. Heat the grip with a hair dryer. And so we're actually going to melt that glue a little bit, if we can, to get that. So I'm actually going to do that now. I happen to have a hair dryer right here in handy. I can actually feel the tape or the sticky goo underneath the grip. I can feel it warming up and starting to form to wherever I placed it. So I can, that's a fantastic way in which to adhere this. And for my first time, that's not too bad. Pretty centered there. Good on the other side, plenty of room. So all in all, the application is quite easy to do. I'm going to go ahead and continue to blow dry a little longer, but basically, I love the feel. It's it's different than the skateboard tape. It's more of a rubbery feel, and I might get a better grip on that. So overall, quite pleased. And for the price, obviously, these are hands down the best wraparound grips there are. So hopefully that helped a little bit with some of your decision making. I highly recommend that you try the rubber. Try the rubber on for size and see if you like that as well. Okay, guys, thanks for watching.